Welcome back, everyone, to this Super Kelly Brothers podcast, episode 292 for the 30th of March, 2025. My name's Liam Kelly.
My name's Jody Kelly.
We're just talking just before we... Well, we hope. You say that?
Yeah. Go on, you Mike.
I'm on the good internet. I'm on the
good
O2s.
internet. I've got a good mic.
And Jody's got a new mic. Yep, which is the same as this one.
But white. Stormtrooper version.
White. Exactly. I've got the Darth Vader version. You get the Stormtrooper version.
Stormtrooper one.
The stealth one. You pay extra for the black flavour of this mic. Don't know why.
Do you? It didn't seem to be an option for me. It was just the white only.
Well, exactly. So this is the weird thing. We're talking mics. This is the weird thing with this microphone is they only used to do it in this colour. Now they do it in like oranges and blues and reds and pinks and everything.
So, I
don't know why they changed it. Sorry.
I wonder why.
Sorry, Rainy Day.
I've often wondered why they create so many different colours of iPods, Nintendo Switch lights and stuff.
But like if you've got a car.
Or is it a collectible thing? You've got to collect them all the yellows, all the blues, all the, pinks. I think people probably do that.
It's to give people a choice, though. I mean, it's like you don't walk in a car showroom and every car's black. It's not, Model T.
But I would like that
anymore.
I don't like
just
choice.
No choice.
I don't like any choice. No. I want my brown to be either white or red. I don't want any in between stuff. That's where I'm coming from.
Okay. I mean, I prefer British racing green for cars, but especially when it's like a Jag or a
Jag,
something like that. Jag.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. New mic. So this is the first week. Potentially, there's not going to be a problem. Does that mean fully jinxed it now?
I 100%. Yeah. I can see my internet flaking out just now. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
We've been talking about the clocks went skipped forward today.
Yeah.
So now my car's on the correct time, which is nice.
Yeah. That's good. That's handy.
I tried to delve through the menu system in it.
You just wait a few months and it will just.
I know. Just wait a few months and it will sort itself out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Even a stop clock, etc. So every other clock in the house went forward at the right time, except for the cooker clock, of course, which is now an hour behind everybody.
Damn that cooker clock!
I
know. Yeah, I changed some of them, but anyway, whatever. Yeah. We're all out of sync today.
Yeah,
because of it.
100%. Yeah, because we're actually late, and not for technical issues, but for actual personnel issues. I didn't realize how late it was, and I was having my dinner. And Jody texted me, "Are we doing the show?"
Yeah. So it was basically that signal. Nice. That signal. Someone ran up the stairs.
Yep. Because normally I'm here like 15 minutes early and making sure everything's okay and the lights are switched on and all that kind of stuff, and I wasn't.
That's right.
Today.
Times have changed.
Exactly, yeah. Shall we talk turkey?
Let's dive in. Do it.
A couple of sad pieces of news from the entertainment world. We lost two actors. I think today, in fact. This is fresh. Richard Chamberlain, who's king of the miniseries back in the 1980s, 70s, and 80s. He was Dr. Kildare. Obviously, that's where he got his sort of big break. But he was the first gaijin in of Shogun. He played Navigator.
Yeah,
and I remember watching that as a kid.
Back in the 80s.
Back in the 80s, yeah. And then, of course, the big one is Thornbirds as well, which we'd never
Thornbirds,
watched.
that's right. He was a kind of romantic lead, wasn't he, really?
He was, yeah.
Claderman. Not Dickie Claderman.
That's right.
Chamberlain.
Dickie Chamberlain, yes.
Claderman was the pianist, wasn't he? He was a right pianist.
Richard Claderman, yeah.
Richard Claderman. Some would say a total pianist.
That's right. Yeah. Did he do anything else? Because that's all I could think of was because his obituary reads Dr. Kildare and King of the miniseries. I mean, I can't think of him in anything else, but he was like.
He was in.
Big,
do you remember that movie? He was in that
80s.
movie, The City of Lost Gold, as well, wasn't he? Or something like that.
Okay. Like King Solomon and the Mines.
That
King
was
Solomon and the Mines.
Yes.
Yeah, that was a good movie actually. Yeah, that was
Indiana
good.
Jones thing.
Was he in one of the? Was like Towering Inferno? Was he in that as well?
Oh, he might have been. Those kind of films.
Oh, see, the thing is, I always get him mixed up with what's his face? The other guy that got mixed up with him.
Aye, me too. Yeah,
Logan's Run guy. That guy. No, the Logan's Run guy. You know the guy I mean.
Aye, it was in Austin.
Not
Powers
Richard.
as
well. Yes, I played
Basil.
Basil.
Both doing it.
Basil the exposition.
For Christ's sake.
Oh, it's the tip of my tongue as well.
Logan's Run, what a film that was. It's a belter. I know that Richard Chamberlain was in it, but we'll kick ourselves.
Michael York. That's who it is. Michael York.
I'm not kicking myself, actually. I wouldn't have guessed that. I would never get that.
I knew it was an M sound name. Anyway, we lost not Michael York today. Sorry.
Good old Michael's still going.
That's
Richard's
right, yeah.
Not so much. Poor old Richard. 90 years old, though. 90, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
Good old age. Although at 90, you're probably, saying to yourself, I'm still fighting fit here. If I ever get to 90, I'll be, in some sort of hover wheelchair. It'll be like a
wheelchair. Yeah.
I'll be, you know how like like you see old guys in these kind of scooter things, and they're like decked out like Harley Davidsons, right? Right? You've seen the thing. I'm gonna get one.
Did I tell you my back's playing up?
I'm gonna get one that looks like a TIE fighter. What's that bit? The wings clipping everybody and all that.
Yeah. Going into CEX for one of those things.
Aye, scooting up in my 70s. Hit the road. Yeah.
We lost another one as well. Bruce Glover, who played. You remember the assassins in Diamonds Are Forever?
Is he the
Mr. Witt and Mr. whatever it is?
Is he the father of
Crispin?
Crispin.
Here's a funny thing.
Yeah.
I knew his name was Bruce Glover.
Yeah.
And I knew that Crispin Glover, his name is Glover as well. And I always thought that Bruce Glover looked an awful lot like Crispin Glover.
Yeah.
And I never put the two and two together. So I was this year's old when I found out that Bruce Glover and Crispin Glover are father and son.
Me too. Because he posted it up on
on the Twitters.
Photograph of him. And once you see it, you're like, of course. Of course it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Of course it is. Yeah. It's mad, isn't it? What a strange character Crispin Glover is, though. Strange man. Remember that clip when he nearly booted David Letterman in the face? Remember that?
Yes. And David Letterman was like, all right, let's cut to commercial, and that was it.
Basically kicked him off the show.
Yeah.
Strange man.
He used to come on dressed up as like a kind of woman, sort of pretending to be a librarian or something. It was a weird thing that David Letterman had with him, like a kind of. It was almost like a kind of Tony Clifton thing.
Yeah.
You know, that kind of because he was playing characters.
Yeah, he had a couple of people like that come on and just give abuse to Letterman or whatever, and then they kept getting invited back.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
I think if you always get invited back after giving abuse, then you're probably in on the joke.
Oh, definitely. I mean, oh God, Ladka from Taxi.
Andy Kaufman.
Tony Clifton.
He did a few mental things as well. Yeah, Tony Clifton stuff.
Yeah.
What a talent he was! Wow.
Yeah.
I always
He never
remember
turned up for rehearsals on Taxi. Never did the rehearsals. They got in another guy, and the ringer guy that was the stand-in for Latka, and then he would come in and do like the lines perfectly and then leave, and that was it.
But it's
Like, they
almost
never
like
really interacted with him.
It's almost like his whole life was a performance, though, wasn't it? You know,
Yeah,
the whole thing was like a
it's a
big
kind of
joke. No.
yeah. But that's kind of Jim Carrey kind of does that now, where he's like, Jim Carrey's just a character I play. Like, it's not the real me.
Yeah.
I think which is kind of.
Well, I think it took him a long time to shake when he did the Man in the Moon movie, to shake the Andy Kaufman thing.
Yeah.
Because
he did Tony Clifton as well.
He did, but it was like he was antagonising the crew in character all the time as well.
Especially Milos.
So, it annoyed a lot of people, I think.
Yeah.
It's a good documentary about that, actually.
It is, yeah. Andy and Jim, is that what it's called? Or Jim and Andy?
Yeah.
Something like it's on Netflix.
Excellent documentary.
Yeah.
How the hell did we get there? Anyway, you go. That's our podcast, guys.
Bruce Glover. Exactly, that is the point. The wandering stories.
That's what happens.
It is, yeah.
Yep.
Working Man, which is the new Jason Statham. Jason,
I'm going to
take you outside, and I'm going to wrap your head
around
the Jaguar.
I love it when Jason Statham does an American accent. It's just a Cockney
hilarious,
accent,
isn't it?
with a touch of, Atlanticism, I suppose.
Yeah. Well, he's beaten the snot out of Snow White this week because the opening weekend for Snow White was 45 million, which is not a lot, and this week it's 16 million. So it's down. Sorry, 15 point. It's almost 16 million. It's down 66% on the opening weekend, which is no good if you're trying to make some money.
Good.
Because it probably cost about 200 and some odd million, and that's before advertising and all that kind of stuff, which they are advertising the heck out of that thing just now.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, a
so
film like that,
not looking too good for Snow White.
Yeah, I mean, this Jason Statham film, he's not exactly breaking the box office either, is he? And he's beaten Snow White. Whoa.
Yeah. And considering as well that Snow White is a general audience thing, and obviously, Working Man isn't a general audience thing.
Yeah, that must be.
You're getting more bums on seats with like that style of movie.
Yeah, I mean, you could argue that all the stuff before it, affected it, but I don't know if you can argue that now that it's been out, and all the little kids have went to see it, and obviously word of mouth hasn't been great. Because I think people can,
tried my best last week.
Yeah, unless there's some big controversy, really, like The Flash did, had, it's none of that. It's just all the sort of little people thing and little silly things like that, It's got no major controversies that are like, felonies or anything like that against any of the cast. So
yeah, that's
think
true.
that
Yeah.
if it was good enough, word of mouth would have been beefed it up, and it would have not dropped as low as it has.
I think it's because the two stars are quite polarizing. It's like you either like them or you loathe them. It's not. There's no. Oh well, yeah, I'll go and see them. It's not. It's not like that. It's like there's Gal Gadot who's on one side of the discussion, and then you got Rachel Zegler who's on the other side of the discussion, and like there's no happy medium in there, and so I think that's kind of not helped as well.
Well, it's the whole Israeli thing, isn't it? Gal Gadot's Israeli and what's her name?
Rachel's pro-Palestinian.
Yeah, but at the same time,
especially in some of the messaging as well around that.
Is that going to affect taking your little girl in a Snow White dress to go and see that movie?
I think for Europe, probably not. But for America, it could be quite polarizing. I think because they've got weird politics across there. Don't need to tell anyone in the world that's not news. But yeah, I think it's not it's bad news for American box office, which is the one that really counts for this kind of movie, because Snow White is more beloved in America than it is elsewhere, I would have thought.
I know, but I think if you're a fan of those movies and Disney in general, are you following all that stuff like we are? And all the families following all that stuff and all the politics behind it and all that.
It's seeping into more and more mainstream discussion in America, because it's starting to, like, there's the whole egg thing that they went through. That was a big, massive thing at the start of the year, where there was a premium on eggs because there was no eggs in America because they had to cull a whole bunch of chickens.
We're talking eggs.
And then of course there's the tariff thing as well, and then there's the Greenland thing, and then there's just all this kind of like, and so it's becoming much more into the kind of psyche of people.
I don't know.
I don't think it's good. I don't think people are going like, well, I don't know what he says about Greenland, but I'm not going to go and see the Snow White thing. I don't think it's that.
I don't think so. That's what I mean. I don't think so.
I think you're getting these kind of things that kind of creeping into it.
I don't think so. I think it's word of mouth hasn't went. Nobody's went, whoa, you need to see this movie. I think that's basically.
I don't think it's a spectacle. Like, it's not oh, you have to go and see this movie. It's a.
I think James is making a good point here.
See, but this is the thing, is that this is the first, like, I've refused point blank whatsoever to go and see these live action remakes of Disney movies, because I don't see any point in them. And to a certain extent, as much as I think that they did an okay job with this Snow White thing, I don't see the point in it.
No.
Like, and maybe people are just waking up to that, is the fact that what's the point in these things?
It's just an update, isn't it? It's of the IP.
It's to keep the it's to keep the copyright basically on the IP.
Yeah.
Because you can't, you get 75 years or whatever it is.
I don't think Disney can win with these either, because if they go too close to the original material, they get criticised. If they go too far, they get criticised. If they add in all this, the woke stuff that they're doing to everything, they get criticised.
I don't think Snow White's woke, though. I don't think I genuinely. Like, I've watched the movie, and I don't think it's like,
All right.
They're not ramming these kind of messaging, like that kind of messaging down people's throats. It's not anything to do with that. I mean, I think the character of Snow White is much less romanticized. In the original one, she's like, that kind of stuff. This one, she's got some of those movements, but she's still like, I need to be like a strong character because I expect that. And that's not played up in the old version, but it is in this version. No. Okay, I call that woke then, I guess.
Have you seen all the? Have you seen the?
Not change.
Have you seen the things about the ending of Snow White? Spoilers, by the way. I don't mean the cartoon, by the way. That she actually dies at the end, because it says even in death she's beautiful or something. And she actually does die, and the prince is her guardian angel taking her to heaven, because the last scene is like this kind of misty castle in the sky type thing, and that's her going to heaven.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so she actually does die at the end.
So it's dark. So the original movie is much darker then. Yeah.
That's just somebody's theory, but it does play. It does look like that.
I think if you're complaining about that kind of movie, and then you go, oh, by the way, The Princess Bride's a great movie, it's like, well, they're one and the same, Two loves kiss. So
but it's more self-aware. Funny you should mention that, because that's in my watch list this week.
Is it?
Yes.
How
funny!
I haven't seen it for a few years.
Yeah, that's in my watch list. So, there you
go. Anyway, so it's getting an absolute pasting at the box office. Going back to the original story, it's getting an absolute pasting at the box office because apparently Jason Statham's just this bland character that you can just paint things on and then not worry about.
Jason Statham just makes the same movie every time, doesn't he? Really, pretty much.
Aye, I mean, Working Man. You might as well call it Beekeeper too.
What was the Guy Ritchie one that he did? And it was just it
was awful.
The first one he'd done for terrible. Ages. They'd worked together since Snatch, I think. No, since the chess one. That was the last one they did together. No.
It was based in It's based on a French movie, wasn't it? He plays a
It was a heist.
a Brinks driver type character guy.
Yeah, security driver guy.
Aye,
and it was just like
I remember,
but it was just like a normal Jason Statham movie.
Aye, yeah.
He makes the same movie all the time. Anyway.
Yeah. Netflix's Adolescence, which I keep calling Adolescent, has made UK TV ratings history.
Whoa! Tell me more.
There you go. Let me just bring this up here. Also, did you know? Did you know that Stephen Graham is actually a Super Kelly brother?
Yeah, you told me that. Yeah, it's Stephen Graham Kelly. We should send him a t-shirt.
Yeah, Graham's his middle name. Yeah. Should do. Anyway, so the Adolescence has begun. I watched the third episode, so we've got the fourth one, and that's it. Has become the first streaming show to top the UK's weekly TV ratings, beating TV shows like The Apprentice and Death in Paradise.
Wow!
Praise indeed.
Indeed. Brilliant.
The first episode of Adolescence was watched by 6.45 million people.
Wow!
In its first week.
Deserves all the accolades it's going to get, and it will get a load.
That
boy
it is,
in it.
Yeah, he's really good. Yeah. It's an amazing piece of television. It really is, and it feels like remember the old BBC stuff that they used to do, where they would do like live Quatermass in the Pit type stuff. They would do like these one-off shows where it feels like that. Yeah, well, the Play for Today was like usually recorded and then they played it out. But sometimes, occasionally, they would do like a live thing, and they were great because they would be, be watched by millions.
Mike Lee won Abigail's Party. Was that live?
Aye, was that not? I think that was originally broadcast live. Yeah, I think you're right.
Aye, because it seemed like a play the way it was filmed.
Yeah,
it seemed like a play the way it was done.
Yeah,
going back a bit now, but yeah, that was this.
But it's got that kind of same. It's got that same kind of feel to Adolescence for me. It's got that kind of BBC 80s, 70s, 80s type BBC thing. I love it. It's great. It's obviously it's dark and the subject matter is a bit grim, very grim.
Very grim.
But it's well done. Like the choreography. Oh, I can't pronounce that.
You'll start again.
Start again. Wrong.
Say that again.
Corrugated. That stuff. If you're a Kurosawa of it, the Kurosawa of it all is just amazing. Like just getting the flow of the camera from one location to another and all that kind of stuff. The ballet that they've got to do. There you go. That's an easier word for me. The ballet of all the sort of logistics of it all fascinating.
Yeah, and for it all to tie in. Amazing.
Yeah. Like the fake window. Stunning. I love the fake window.
But that scene that really everybody talks about, and the boy jumps through the window and the camera follows through a seemingly closed window. But it's CGI muck or something.
It's CGI. They should put CGI muck on the plane that would be the window.
So
brilliant.
There's no window there, so it can fly through. But
and they just pick it up at the other end.
I think they do a kind of
pick it up
of it.
Yeah, because there is a behind the scenes where you see them and the guy's walking like that, and then he kind of stops and lifts up the camera like that as they're hooking it on, and then the drone takes off and then he releases it. So he does he starts off at that kind of level and then goes up to a bit there.
Because I think there's two cameramen in one shot and they hand it to each other. I think that's what happens halfway through the shot or whatever. I don't know if they're continually handing it to each other or halfway through.
Possibly, yeah. But even that, like being aware of where the camera's pointing and you not being in shot while that's happening is brilliant as well.
Yeah,
like that whole thing just fascinates me. Like that's where that guy should win the best director, is the fact that he's the guy that's choreographing all that kind of stuff. So choreographing.
I think he did Boiling Point as well with Stephen Graham. Did you ever see that? About he was a chef. Stephen Graham's a chef, but he's up to his eyes in debt, and it's all one shot as well.
I didn't see it. Yeah,
that's brilliant as well. It's
Oh,
just a
is it?
movie.
Okay.
It's just a movie, but they made it into a TV series quite recently. I think it's the same. It must be the same director.
Is it called Hell's Kitchen?
Same trick. Well, he's like he's just an up and coming kind of, try to get a Michelin star chef type guy, and but everything's coming to a head. I think he's in debt from these kind of gangsters and stuff. And I've not seen it for a wee while, but it's a really good film.
Is it? It's Philip. Okay.
Is it the same director?
Barantini. Philip Barantini. Follow-up series and the miniseries Adolescence. So he directed the film, did the follow-up series and the miniseries Adolescence, all starring Stephen Graham.
Yeah.
So they've obviously they're from the Merseyside. That's why they're pally. There you go.
Yeah.
There's the connection. That's the connection.
We need to send him a T-shirt, Super Kelly Brothers T-shirt with Stephen Graham. Get him on the show.
No.
Get him on the show.
Get him on the show, exactly, yeah. see what he thinks of Adolescence.
Aye, love it. He's in it.
So Dame Helen Mirren, so there's a whole big thing about James Bond. The name's Bond. James Bond is obviously, there's a bit of furore about it because who's going to be the next James Bond? And Helen Mirren was at an event with Pierce Brosnan, who used to be James Bond.
He did.
And she was asked, should there be a female James Bond?
They're both in a new TV show on Prime. Oh no, sorry, Paramount Plus with Tom Hardy.
Oh, are they? Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's like an Irish thing? Yeah, he's an Irish mobster or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so she was asked if there should be a female James Bond. She said no. But she had a good reason for it. She had a good reason for it. And she said the whole concept of James Bond is drenched and born out of profound sexism. It gets better. Women have always been a major and incredibly important part of the Secret Service. They always have been, and they're very brave. If you hear about what women did during the French Resistance, they're amazingly, unbelievable, courageous. So I would tell real stories about extraordinary women who've worked in that field. Why don't we? What about Eliza's part? And remember the woman that she plays in the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare? She was a tough cookie. Her.
Yeah. Why not?
Tell her story.
Yeah.
Based on her. Because I mean, the James Bond is supposed to be based on Henry Cavill's character.
I know. Don't just piggyback onto a character that exists, and for your own gains or your own agenda. Create your own character.
Yeah.
Come on, guys.
Yeah. Anyway, in all this controversy, sticking with James Bond, I've actually linked some stories here. Jen Salke, who was originally at Amazon Pictures, is now out because she clashed with the Broccoli's over how James Bond should be handled.
That's worrying.
So is that good though? Because if they're saying, if the Broccoli's are like, no, he needs to be this way, then and this Amazon exec was like, no, he's got to be this way or whatever, and then all of a sudden she's no longer part of the equation.
Well, James Bond changed though during the Daniel Craig years. The stuff that was written, Phoebe Waller-Bridger, that she developed some of the scripts, the kind of last couple of movies, I think, or last movie, and kind of cut out.
She's not bringing it as a script doctor. That's what they call it.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, and it changed. It became a little not woke as such, but it wasn't as kind of misogynistic.
Episode.
There's a theme. No,
which is ironic because quite frankly, I'm currently half asleep. But
sorry,
stupid springing for. It's not your fault. It's this stupid daylight savings nonsense.
Yeah, because at the beginning, I mean, you remember Daniel Craig at the beginning of those kind of set of movies. It was like jumping into the sea onto a boat and then slipped right into having a shower with somebody. A woman, not somebody, a woman. And then by the end of it, he was like, all kind of, not that
respectful in that. Yeah,
yeah. So right. Maybe he'll get back to I don't think he'll ever get back to slipping in beside somebody in a shower. That's not really the
I think it was
anyway. You do that. No. You do that in this day and age, you get arrested. No.
Well, they were always a bit. They were always a bit aware of that, like during the 80s, obviously in the height of the AIDS epidemic as well. They were a bit kind of, should we do this? That was like one of the big debates: is like, should James Bond be jumping in and out of bed with strange women? And so they've always had that kind of. It's different things back then, Jody.
From a different era, isn't he? He's from a different era. Yeah.
Well, definitely. I mean, he's from the 1940s, 50s. James Bond.
Even if he's got a box of milk tray, doesn't matter, James. You can't do that.
I think you get mixed up with the adverts there.
Oh, sorry.
That's the guy in the frog suit.
That's him. I had the Action Man figure.
I bet.
I did.
Going to change tact. We're going to talk about video games, which is something we don't normally talk about, despite the fact that the actual logo we've got is very video game related. Yep. Did you see the Nintendo announcement that was out? Nintendo Direct.
I did. I watched it. Yeah, I watched them all.
I watched. So they're bringing out a new thing called Nintendo Today. But what I wanted to bring out first was the virtual game cards.
Yeah, it's a great idea.
Which is why is this not been a thing?
It's a brilliant idea.
I don't understand why it's not been a thing.
So you can digitally lend one of your friends your game card for was it for 20 days or
2 weeks?
2 weeks.
Fortnight. Yeah.
They can play your game for 2 weeks. You can lend it. How great is that? So cool.
And then it automatically returns to you.
Aye.
So there's no arguing about do you have my game? Fantastic. Do you have my game? Do you have my game? It's like, nope, it comes straight back to you. I think this is a brilliant idea.
And if you own multiple Switches, you can go, right, your wee brother wants to play Zelda, you can digitally play it on your other system.
Does it work with the physical cards as well? So if you've got I guess with a physical card,
because we played Mario Kart. It was your cartridge when we were going up to Aberdeen.
Yeah, I think it's a brilliant idea. I think it's a genius way of doing it, and I hope other Sony, Microsoft, the other two, I hope they sort of understand the benefits of that. Like that's really cool because then people are getting to play those games, and then maybe they'll buy that game because they've got like a wee taste of it because they get 2 weeks with it.
I think
there's a lot of games out there that you're not going to be able to beat in 2 weeks as well. So hopefully, I think they will. Look at it up there. Yeah. They also did you know they had an alarm clock as well? The Alarmo.
I did, yes. Mm-hmm.
Which is the most bizarre thing in the world, but it apparently plays like a kind of Zelda, Mario, whatever, Pikmin alarm based on that.
It's a very Japanese thing, that though, isn't it? It's a bit
very
Japanese-ish.
But the other thing they announced though was a mobile phone app called Nintendo Today. So instead of Nintendo Direct, they've got Nintendo Today, and it's just going to leak announcements. And one of those things that they announced on Nintendo Today was the new Zelda movie.
Yeah.
Which
great link.
Great link. Great link.
Thanks, I'm here all day.
It's good. In fact, that gets a wee ding.
Thank you.
I like it. Now, let's hope this partnership with Sony goes better than the last time Nintendo partnered with Sony.
Well, it didn't go well, did it?
No, it didn't.
Well, it did for Sony.
Well, actually, no, that's true. Well, that's true, yeah. But did Columbia Pictures, did they not do the Mario one as well? I should have done this joke when because I didn't realize they'd done the Mario one.
Was it Blue Sky that did it?
Oh, that's right. It was. Yeah, you're right. It was Universal. Oh, yeah, that makes more sense actually, because they've got a deal with Universal to have their stuff in their theme parks.
Yeah,
because Epic Universe is doing that. Anyway, so let's hope it goes well. So yeah, this is is it live action? Do you know anything about
action. This? It is live action, and it's coming out in 2027 apparently.
March 26.
I don't know how I feel about it being live action. Because I've seen kind of people doing like fan movies of Link, and it somehow it looks a bit ropey. You know, the character of Link was wee.
Don't you mean rupee?
Jesus. Oh God.
Let's get the puns out.
Yeah. I don't know how. I don't know if it's going to be like some sort of action movie, or it's going to be more like Lord of the Rings, or it's going to be like, how are they going to approach the? Is it going to be like funny, like Lego? Is it going to be like dead serious? How are they going to approach it? That's what I'm interested in seeing. What would it look like? I don't know. What's the tone? Is what I'm basically saying.
They're gonna have to have Epona in it. They're gonna have to have the wee fairy thing in it.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Well, that's one specific.
Zelda's always going to make an appearance. Ganon has to make an appearance.
That's Ocarina of Time you're talking about, basically. Are they going to just draw from one game, or they've got millions of games to draw from?
Yeah, but I mean, if they just do Breath of the Wild, I mean, they'll be there for days, going through all the. Think of all the tombs you got to go through.
I was a week in Breath of the Wild before I realised that I wasn't actually playing the game. I was just, like a tourist wandering about.
Going to pubs.
I was like, oh, there's actually stuff I need to do.
I did that as well. I went to a town and just kind of wandered around. And then realised I was like, oh, wait, am I supposed to go and do something? And then I had to look at the mission log thing, like what you're supposed to do. I was like, oh, I was supposed to go up there. All right, okay.
I mean, it doesn't really...
It doesn't really fun just wandering around.
It definitely does kind of just let you do what you want, though, in that game. It's quite incredible. But, I just wonder what the tone will be, especially when it's live action as well.
Aye.
It's... which I think's the right thing to do, to be honest with you. If it was a cartoon, it might be a bit cheesy,
Cheesy.
It
might be. Yeah, I think it's... I'm not I haven't played that many. I've played some of the NES games. I played the first one. I didn't like the second one because it was side scrolling. And I've played another couple. What was the other one I played? Oh, the Game Boy one, which was on the Switch.
Link's Awakening.
Link's Awakening. Yeah, that one. Yeah, I found that really enjoyable. But I'm not a huge Zelda fan. I'm not going to admit.
I know. There's a good one. Zelda
Pelters.
Between Two Worlds or something, I think it was called. It was on the 3DS. And
right.
It did Mario Odyssey. You go 2D and you can kind of on a wall. There's like a kind of 2D platform. But
I see. Right. Yeah.
It did in that and back in the day, it did the Zelda game. You kind of turned into a kind of piece of kind of wall art, and you kind of could slide into kind of between two worlds. It's a good game. That loads. Wind Waker was a terrific game. It's a really great game. Waker.
It was beautiful art style as well. With Wind Waker,
the cell shaded one. It's brilliant.
Yeah.
I remember everybody was like up in arms because everyone was expecting the graphics to get more and more realistic, and they went with the cell shaded. But the actual game was absolutely amazing, brilliant.
Yeah.
Exciting.
And then the final one we want to talk about is Avengers. So there was a release trailer for Avengers, which consisted of RDJ going and that was it.
Well,
that was
like,
your lot.
Was it 12 minutes on each chair, each announcement? It was like chairs are lined up, and the camera went to each one and stayed on it for about 12 minutes, I think, and then on to the next one, and it was announcing who was
it?
I think so.
So the one I saw was like a shortened version of it.
Aye, but if you watch the whole thing, it was like quite long.
Oh right, okay. No, I didn't watch the whole thing. Yeah. So we can watch. We'll probably get shouted at for showing this, but I'll show it anyway. We can talk about the people that are going to be there. Of course, there's a couple of people missing from this list.
Yeah.
Notably, Taskmaster doesn't make the cut. And no Tom Holland.
I think that's the biggest one that's missing.
Yeah.
It's an odd one.
Tom Holland.
It's very odd.
So we get Chris Hemsworth, the mighty Thor, Vanessa Kirby, who plays
Mrs. Invisible.
Mrs. Invisible, that's right. Yep. Anthony Mackie, who plays Captain America. Sebastian Stan, who doesn't play Captain America.
Nope.
Letitia Wright, who plays Shuri. They name this weirdly. It's Shuri Black Panther, which is a bit weird, or Shuri the Black Panther, which is a bit weird. Why not just Black Panther? But
I don't know.
And then we've got Paul Rudd. Never heard of him.
The Ruddinator.
Wyatt Russell. Woo!
Whoop, whoop.
US agent back.
Yep.
And then we got Tino Huerta Mejia.
Well done.
There you go. Thanks. Also known as Namor. Ebon Moss Baccarat. Is he not the guy from Wakanda?
I don't know who that is.
I think he is.
I wonder how significant some of these parts are going to be, though. You know, I mean, they announced how many names did they announce in this?
Oh, he's not. It's not. No, he's the thing. Oh dear. We'll cut that bit out.
Yeah, that's fine.
Simu Liu, he's the Shin. One movie 10 years ago, man. Shang-Chi. In the 9-10 rings.
That was good, that movie. I like that movie.
Oh no, Shang-Chi in the 2 rings when I get home.
I'll give you 2 rings. That's him.
Florence Pugh, who obviously plays Yelena. Yelena.
She smells.
Kelsey Grammer.
That's an interesting
one.
Bizarrely,
in this one, he's actually reprising his role as Dr. Fraser Crane. It's weird.
Yeah, you're right. Aye. Well, that's a strange one because they're bringing back the OG X-Men.
X-Men. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Is Alan Cummings not?
Obviously Falcon.
Is Alan Cummings not in it as well?
Getting to it.
Aye.
So you get Falcon there. Joseph Quinn, who obviously is playing Johnny Storm.
Yep.
David Harbour, Red Guardian.
Yep.
Winston Duke. I don't know his name. Hannah John Kamen, who's playing Ghost.
Right.
She's reprising her role. Tom Hiddleston.
Oh, that's good. Interesting.
So good to see that he's back. That'll be an interesting conversation with him and Loki.
Well, that's
with him and Thor.
Because of the whole Loki series as well.
Because he's now
sat in the chair, wasn't he?
Lord of Stories now.
Yeah. Mm. Yep. Interesting.
So that'll be interesting. Patrick Stewart, he's reprising his role as Captain Jean-Luc Picard.
Yep, another OG
X-Man.
Just
wait to see who's next.
Yep, an ex-person.
Gandalf.
Gandalf's in it, yep.
This is going to be a great show. Who else is in it? Alan Cumming. Obviously, he's going to play the host in the trailers.
He was.
I mean, with this cast list, you could have a good season of the traitors.
You could. Yeah.
He plays Nightcrawler.
Nightcrawler, yeah.
Rebecca Romian, she is also in Strange New Worlds, so she's another Star Trek alumni. And she obviously plays Mystique. The OG Mystique.
Yep.
James Marsden, who has recently played a belter of a performance in Paradise as the President of the United States, but he's back as Cyclops.
Yep.
Channing Tatum. Oh, there.
Mm-hmm.
Brilliant.
Gambit.
Do you know what? I'm so glad because he was supposed to years and years ago was supposed to get a Gambit movie all by himself.
That's right. Yep.
And he never ever did. Mm-hmm. And Ryan Reynolds made it happen for Deadpool and Wolverine. So it's great the fact that he's in this. I think this is brilliant.
Yeah, he's good. He's good at comedy and stuff, and he's good at serious roles as well.
I still love that line in Deadpool and Wolverine. He says, "Okay, serious talk just now. Is your voice coach the Minions?"
That's a great film.
Oh dear. Pedro Pascal, who's reprising his role as the Mandalorian.
Indeed. Yep.
And then finally we got Robert Downey Jr.
Oh, hello.
Who
the big man himself.
He's going.
Looking more like Tony Stark than Tony Stark. There.
I know.
Jeez.
Do you know it's going to be an interesting because he's obviously playing Doctor Doom. So it's called Avengers Doomsday, but is it Doomsday or is it Doomsday?
Excuse me. Say that again.
Say that again. Is it Doomsday, as in the end of something, or is it the day of Doom? Because it's written as Doomsday, but I'm wondering if it's actually Doom *S Day.
I think it's
Doomsday. Am I reading too much into it?
Doomsday, as in we're all doomed.
We're all doomed.
We're doomed.
Expect to see Corporal. What's his name?
Oh God, Mr. Mannering.
Oh, it's the tip of my tongue.
That's Army.
He was the funeral director.
Sloan did not have a bet to see if he could crowbar Dad's Army into this episode.
Did it?
Don't think he might have.
Private Godfrey. It's not Private Godfrey, that's for sure. Private Fraser. There you go. Private Fraser played by John Laurie. We're doomed. We're doomed.
We're doomed. Oh God.
What is your name? Don't tell your name, Pike. Pike, your name will also go on the list.
Oh God.
What a great show.
Brilliant.
Why is there no Dad's Army cinematic universe? Anyway.
Well, they did make a movie, though.
They did, with Jones. I know.
I'll tell you what, see the casting of that, it was absolutely sublime. The casting of that movie. It was absolutely brilliant. Terrific.
Who was in it again? Dad's
Army.
2016 it was. So it was 9 years ago. Uh-huh. So yeah, Toby Jones, Captain Mannering, Bill Nye. I mean, who else could play the late great Jean Lemaitre?
Absolutely brilliant.
Catherine Zeta-Jones. Yeah. Tom Courtney, Lance Corporal Jones. Private Pike was played by Blake Hamilton. Private Godfrey was Michael Gambon. Brilliant.
That's right. Yeah, brilliant. Mm-hmm.
Private Fraser obviously had to be played by Bill Patterson.
Yeah. I think Blake Harrison as Pike was brilliant as well, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's one of the in-betweeners.
Oh, right, okay. Where's Private Pike, Blake Harrison? Oh, I do know. Yeah, he plays the dopey one.
The dopey one, yeah.
Yeah,
Typecast.
That passed his driving test like 2 weeks beforehand. And he goes like, "Well, why didn't you tell us?" Well, I didn't think it was important. You never asked. He's like, "So we're supposed to ask you everything."
Another brilliant show. In between us.
Yeah.
Absolutely brilliant.
Anyway, talking of brilliant shows, shall we talk about what you're watching?
Yes.
What have you been watching?
Well, movies really this week. I watched, as I said earlier, um, we watched. Well, we watched Falling Down. Hadn't seen that for a long time.
Really?
Michael Douglas.
That's a good movie.
That's a good movie, but I didn't remember that he's just. I remember it being like he's having a bad day and we're kind of rooting for
Yeah.
him. You should not be rooting for him.
You
Watch
should
it
not be
again.
rooting for him, though.
He's a
No, you
horrible
should not
guy.
be rooting for him.
He's
No,
a
he's
wife
not. He's
beater.
not a nice person. Yeah.
He's like a violent, really violent guy, and
Yeah.
it's basically the
Cheering for the wrong team.
yeah, it's basically the you know you're watching that movie from the point of view of the shooter.
Him. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Why he's having a bad day, but he's turning it into like a bad day for everybody
Vendetta.
type
Yeah.
thing.
Mm-hmm.
Really well made movie. Michael Douglas is always brilliant. Joel Schumacher,
Yeah.
brilliant, fantastic.
Mm-hmm. Joel Schumacher, he can direct, can't he?
Oh, well, yeah. Well,
okay. Apart from the Batman movies, let's forget this. The Batman movies weren't his fault. I'm 100% sure that it was studio interference. I'm just saying.
He introduced the bat nips.
Yeah.
Yeah, they missed a trick with the bat
Batman.
nips. They missed a trick with the bat nips. They could have peeled them off and chucked them at somebody. You know what I mean?
True enough, yeah. Or stuck them as explosives.
Aye.
Robin, I'm going to use my explosive.
Exactly. Princess Bride, as I said earlier, was a movie we watched. Old school. Fantastic again. It's a mixture of Monty Python, Mel Brooks, what's not to like? Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah. It's even the interstitial scenes in there where it's Peter Falk and Fred Savage is brilliant.
Oh, they're terrific, especially because all kids, all boys watching these movies just want to get to the action bits, and it's like more kiss. What's with the kissing,
Yeah.
Because
did you want me to stop reading?
Yeah, that's great film. Really holds up. Absolutely brilliant.
I love Peter Falk. I think he's fantastic in everything he does, and I have several DVDs of his.
I know you do. I think that's about it. Jesus. Your £200 box set that you bought.
It wasn't £200, it was £70.
All right, £600. Yeah, I think we watched
400 Quatloos.
We watched another film, but I can't remember who it was. Oh, God, memory.
Was it Fight or Flight?
No.
Was it The Brits Are Coming?
No, it's gone. You go for it.
Was it Men in Black 3?
I'll remember it halfway through you.
Halfway through me saying the first title of the movie, that's what you normally do. Aye. All right, so we watched our Friday movie was The Con Is On, and I wish we hadn't. I was going to choose something I'd seen before, and I wish I'd chosen something I'd seen before. It was known as The Con Is On in America, but in Britain it was called The Brits Are Coming.
Right.
Stellar cast. It's an absolute fantastic cast. Maggie Q's in it, Stephen Fry. The two main leads are Tim Roth and Uma Thurman. Alice Eve's in it. Crispin Glover's in it. Parker Posey's in it. It's a cast of the amount of talent that is in this movie that is completely. Oh, Stephen! Did I mention Stephen Fry? That is completely and utterly wasted by the material. It's terrible. It's an hour and a half of your life you're never getting back. Go and watch Snow White.
I think I might have to give me 2 minutes right at the end here. Unbelievable.
Okay.
Unbelievable, Jeff.
One moment, please. Yeah, it's terrible. The Brits are coming. It's terrible. It's not good. So it's basically these two husband and wife con team. They steal money from a baddie played by Maggie Q, and then they leave London and go to LA where they meet up with Stephen Fry, and then he gives them a job, but it's not really a job, and then it's this other thing, and then
Never even heard of this.
his ex, and it's awful. It's really really bad.
You always pick really bad films.
Yeah, I know.
All that
Yeah, Sofia Vergara's in it as well.
Right.
What's going on? Men in Black 3 we watched last night. We were looking for something we could all watch and enjoy. So watch that again. It's probably my second favourite of the Men in Black movies. I'd go 1, 3, 2.
Is that still Will Smith?
Still Will Smith, yeah.
Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah, that was Men in Black International.
All right.
That's the one with Thorn the Valkyrie. Yeah, Valkyrie's not in this one. Anyway, so yeah, Men in Black 3. I think Josh Brolin does a fantastic impersonation of
he does actually,
Lee Jones. He's really good. And it's a good movie. I think the bad guy's good, played by Jermaine Clemens of Flight of the Conchords, and also What We Do in the Shadows. Yeah, brilliant. It was good fun. Like I said, it's not. I still think the first movie beats it. And the second movie's, I don't know, I'm not a big fan of the second movie.
Second movie was almost like a tag on, wasn't it? It was like a kind of.
It was, yeah. It was a quick get this out.
I remember it being a really short film as well.
Yeah,
barely an hour and a half.
Yeah,
sure.
They are quite short movies, though. Men in Black films.
Yeah,
but that's fine. I don't have a problem.
No, I don't mind that.
Yeah. And then TV wise, we actually watched a lot of TV. We've finished from. Now we're stuck because we've got to wait.
Completely finished it.
It was up to season 3, so we've finished.
Was it 3 seasons? Right.
So there's a fourth one coming, I think, but I don't know when that is. My guess is either late this year or early next year.
Right.
So we didn't time this well at all. It's such a good TV show, and you just keep watching it, and just the characters are great, stories are good. I mean, you could argue that nothing happens week to week, but
is it peeling away anymore? Don't spoil it, but
again, I think they did a cracking job with this cliffhanger. Ankui. That's the thing you got to know about this show. Ankui. We finished Reacher as well. Reacher ended this week. Like every other Reacher story ends, the bad guy dies. He walks off onto the sunset. Don't think I'm spoiling anything for you. That's how we like it when we see a Reacher thing. Just very well executed. I think it's still good fun, and it's good to see him just punching his way to an answer every week.
Another Reacher round.
I finished Zero Day. I started watching and finished Zero Day within the week as well. So I think I mentioned it last week. Robert De Niro plays Martin Scorsese as the President of the United States. It's pretty good. It kind of... It didn't resolve very well for me. It's a weird ending in it. It's like, okay, like it kind of just ends. And
is it as good as Paradise? Is Paradise?
No. Right. Paradise is here, and 0 days. Like,
I'm not going to watch it then.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I mean, I would watch it. It's only like 6 episodes. I mean, you could do it in a week.
I did fancy watching it, right enough, but
yeah.
Don't know.
Again, it's got a good cast. De Niro's in it. Oh God, what's her name? Lizzie Kaplan's in it as well. Jesse Plemons is in it. So I mean, it's got a good cast. So it's not like it's a bad show. It's not like, oh, this is terrible. It's not like, the Brits are coming bad. But it's not as good as
Paradise.
Daredevil Born Again is becoming a great show. I was really enjoying it, and it's much better than I think it's, for me, it's on par with Loki. I think, as far as the Marvel output is concerned, it's nothing like Loki. I mean, it's not.
I've not been watching it.
Two completely different shows, but as far as quality and story is concerned, I think they're both the same. Although I heard a lot of people moan and complain about Loki, which
the Loki was brilliant. Second season was
great.
Even better than the first.
I know.
Terrific. Absolutely brilliant.
But yeah, Daredevil's great. Wilson Fisk is. I love that character. I think Kingpin is really good. I think his whole kind of, he wants to be the savior of New York.
Yeah.
And he's willing to do everything in his power to make that happen. But he's being pulled down by politics, and he doesn't like it. And now he's fighting with those forces. Yeah. And Matt is obviously fighting with his demons and, the loss of Foggy and all that kind of stuff. So it's good stuff. Although there is a theory about it. So, by the way, I'm not spoiling this for the show. Like, Foggy gets killed within the first 5 minutes of the episode, so it's not like it's the first episode. So it's not like a thing. But apparently, there's a cartoon. There's a comic book of this that is Daredevil 468, I think it is, and it's Vanessa plots to get her revenge on Matt for something, and what she does is she fakes Foggy's death, including down to he can't hear his heartbeat. Right? And
David's just commented. Hold that thought. I don't know if he's been serious or not. It's not as good as the Falcon and Winter Soldier.
He'll talk about basketball in a minute. Have you seen The Last Dance?
Oh, that's great, that, though, David. I agree with you.
Brilliant. Anyway, back to Daredevil, which is better than Falcon and the Winter Soldier, because it feels like it's somebody who's been written this. Anyway, so there's a comic where apparently Vanessa fakes Foggy's death and sends Matt into a grief spiral, which is kind of what's happening in this show. But it's in the first episode they walk out of Murdoch, Nelson, and Page, and next door is number 468, and so people are theorizing that Foggy's no dead. But I don't know. Anyway, it's immaterial. It's a great show. What was the other one I watched? Oh yeah, we watched The Residence, which is Crazy Eyes. She's in this. It's a Shondaland movie, a TV show, which Shondaland does Bridgerton and a couple other things as well on Netflix. And she plays a kind of quirky detective who is also a birder. And she's in the White House to solve a murder that happens on an Australian state visit. And it's brilliant. It's really good. It's a great murder mystery. It's very kind of. It's called The Residence.
The Residence. Not heard of
The Residence. Yeah, it's on Netflix. Right. I would give it a go. It's really good. It's a bit Wes Anderson-y, a bit Knives Out.
All right. I'm in.
And a bit kind of Columbo-y, which is probably why I liked it.
But stylized.
But heavily stylized, but in a good way, not in a bad way. Heavily stylized. Jason Lee's in it. If you want some names. Who else is in it? Kylie Minogue's in it.
Really?
Yep. It's great. Oh, and apparently Andre Braugher was supposed to be in it, but he unfortunately passed, so they couldn't get him for it. So they got another guy in to play the police chief. I would love to see Andre Braugher play the police chief. At least that's what I'm thinking anyway, because it says in memory of Andre Braugher. Anyway, and then what else did I watch? Adolescence. I'm up to episode 3, so that's the brilliant one where the psychiatrist goes in, or the therapist or whatever goes into the prison to talk to the young snap
bombshell.
Do you not just And I think this is the power of the performance of the kid that plays the boy. What's the boy's name? Kenny, or what's his name? I don't know what his name is.
I can't remember.
Jamie, that's it.
Jamie. Yeah.
Do you want to just grab him by the back of his head and just slam him into the table?
We do not condone that in this channel.
No, we don't. No, obviously, we couldn't do that anyway in real life. But he's not a nice kid. Like going by episode 3 anyway.
Well, I know.
Well, and obviously episode 1 as well.
He's murdered a
he's murdered a wee exactly.
Wee girl. Yeah. No, he's not a nice kid. It's pretty.
Did you hear about the episode 2?
But it all comes out in that episode, doesn't it?
And yeah, exactly. Yeah, the whole pickle sandwich is an interesting thing as well.
Yeah,
it's like he refuses to eat that, and then all of a sudden he takes a bite out of it at the end. But there's I watched a behind the scenes thing about episode 2, and so there's the school choir for the school that they filmed the show in.
Yeah.
The actress, the girl who plays Katie, which is just, I mean, you only ever see in like kind of like fuzzy shots, whatever it is. But she was the lead singer in the choir, and they got her to do the solo at the end of it when Stephen Graham goes up and lays the flowers down. That's her singing. Right? That's Katie singing the song. Yeah, that's the actress who plays Katie singing the song.
Yeah, that's interesting.
So it's kind of like whoa, because it's all about like angels and stuff, and yeah. So it's really.
It's
cool.
A great show. Really great. It's probably really it's up there on the best shows I've seen for many years. I think. Yeah, it's terrific.
Yeah. And you used to watch Bullseye.
Well, that's up there as well. That's probably my
obviously, yeah.
TV show.
In which state in Texas was President Kennedy assassinated?
And here's what you would have won.
Texas. Great. I'll plant that out in my balcony, my flat. And then the last thing I watched was the I'm not interested in any other river, but Hammond started his river documentary.
I watched that as well,
and I thought, oh, that'll be interesting. So it's on Channel 4's. Channel 4 keep on dumping their programs on YouTube, which is brilliant because I don't get any advert.
You and I must have the same bloody I can't say this word. Algorithms, because I watched that as well.
Did you?
Yeah.
There you go. It was great.
It was good. Yeah, that shows you our age, though, that we're starting to.
I know. Aye. See that bit where he's talking about the salmon?
Years ago when you entertained it, but now I'm like, this is really interesting.
This is fascinating. There's waterfalls. The Falls of Clyde. I've never even heard of it.
Unbelievable.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
The hydroelectric dam, the works as well, which I love a good hydroelectric works. And we're losing figures. Pull up. What's that?
Shout out to Steve Marsh. Oh, I'll tell you another thing I watched. It's on there's another kind of old man show.
It's lighthouses he likes, though.
He likes a lighthouse. He likes a harbour.
Oh, he does like a lighthouse. He likes a harbour, yeah.
I watched the thing with Martin Clunes and Neil Morrissey, and they're in France. It's on UK Gold. It is brilliant. Mm-hmm. Really, really enjoyable. It's a bit like, the Steve Coogan.
Badly.
The Trip. It's a bit like that.
Rob Brydon.
Yeah, just nice, quite funny. And France looks amazing, by the way. Where they were. Unbelievably nice, aye. Yeah.
Where was it they went to? Provence, or?
It was like this kind of central
Loire Valley,
kind of central France. What's that? The wine?
Bordeaux.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's on the west coast then.
West
Coast Central.
Well,
right,
they go kind of down to the south coast, but southeast coast, and they kind of hook themselves back up to the kind of around kind of west. They do a wee kind of wee circuit. Mm-hmm. Terrific. Wow, nice. I want to go and see it. Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Good show. 3 episodes. Cool. I was gutted.
Oh, it's only 3 episodes?
3 episodes, yeah.
Yeah. I actually think you could probably get a series out of the River Clyde thing. I was thinking about it, going like, because he's not touching on like half the stuff that's there.
Well, I'll tell you how sad I was this week. I was watching a man wander around Renfrewshire finding ancient wells. That's what I was watching. And
Right, you win.
And yeah, that was one of the things I watched this week. So there you go.
I watched. So, talking about Steve Marsh, we watched it. Have you seen his latest one where he flies to Greenland?
Yes. Yeah.
And then he flies back to Iceland.
Oh,
and he
man.
flies back to Greenland.
Aye.
Oh my God. 12 hours in a puddle jumper.
That man has got the patience of a saint. I'd
100%,
have been raging.
Oh, you'd have flipped the airport. Never mind the table.
God. I'd have been raging. Getting messed about like that. Oh.
I know. I was thinking about you every step of the way. He's like, well, you know, I mean, I get paid to do this. It's fine.
Like, these things happen. These things happen. No, I wouldn't have taken it in my stride the way he did. I'll tell you.
I know. It's the fact that you get to fly back to the country you came from.
Oh man,
you land in the wrong airport, and then they try again, and they can't land there, so they can fly you back to.
Yeah.
They had to fly to the other airport to fuel up again, and then fly back to Keflavik.
I'd love to see Donald Trump go to Greenland to see what it's like, by the way, and then to see if he's that interested in bloody, taking it over.
Well, they've got military bases there already because it's part of because it's part of NATO.
I suppose. Yeah.
Do you know that Canada and Denmark share a border, and they fight over the border? There's an island in the middle that splits the border, and they fight over this one island. And the Danes leave a bottle of vodka, I think it is, and raise the Danish flag. And then the Canadians come along, take the Danish flag down, put the Canadian flag up, and leave a bottle of Canadian Club. And that's the war. And that happens every 6 months, apparently.
Sounds pretty pleasant.
Very nice, yeah. Who gets to drink the whiskey? Or the vodka? Oh, it's vodka, and the Danes leave, and then the Canadians leave whiskey.
What was that, whiskey? Sorry.
Aye, Canadian Club's a whiskey. Yeah. Well, close approximation to whiskey.
A bourbon?
I'll just. No, I'm not sure what it is actually. I'll look it up. This is interesting. Canadian Club. It's made by Suntory. There you go. And it's a distillery. It's a Canadian whiskey.
There you go.
Just says Canadian whiskey. All that for that. Anyway, that's our show for the Spring Forward Day. If you like what you see, don't forget to hit the like button and share as well. It's just down there. And if you want timely reminders we put something new up, then hit the subscribe button, notification bell, and YouTube will let you know through its algos when we put things up, which is currently 8 p.m. British summertime.
Yep.
Or whatever time that is. Use timebuddy.com to find out where that is in your time space. And yeah.
Yep. Andor season 2, the Electric Boogaloo, is coming up soon as well.
Yes.
And I think we should probably do a watch along.
It's the 18th? 22nd? Something like that.
Pretty soon.
It's quite late. In
Nintendo
April.
Switch.
But yeah, it's coming up soon.
Nintendo Switch 2, then Andor 2. Whoa.
Wow.
Titan.
445. East 54.
Aye.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for commenting as well. And of course, David, I will go and watch The Last Dance at some point. But until then, thanks for watching. Cheers. Bye.